Okay, so in January of this year, our deputies were called down to the Joppa Magnolia firehouse by the president and vice president of the firehouse to report some indiscrepancies in some of their money that's coming in from bingo and also possibly some deposits and things like that. The deputies went down and started an investigation, and our criminal investigation division and Corporal Justin Blubaugh took over the investigation from there. Through that investigation, it was determined that about $50,000 worth of credit cards, deposits and things were stolen from the Joppa Magnolia firehouse, and also $10,000 in bingo proceeds. And right now, at least $5,500 worth of deposits where people would rent the hall and use it for different events were also stolen. We believe that those numbers will probably go up as the investigation continues. But just recently, Corporal Blubaugh had a consultation with the State's Attorney's Office, and we indicted 2 individuals from the firehouse, one of which was a 30-year member of the firehouse, and her name was Carol Repagel, and then her daughter also, Jessie Repagel, were also indicted for the crimes.
And she was a member of the fire company, correct?
The mother was a member of the firehouse for about 30 years, correct?
How many?
30. And her position there was volunteer, and she took care of running the bingos and also taking the money for the deposits for the rentals and things like that. And she also had the credit card, which she used to, some of the things she used it for, she would use it for her BG&E bills, she would use it to pay for Verizon, she used it to put a deposit down on a 2001 PT Cruiser vehicle, so all those type of things for a total of $50,000 with a credit card.
Do you know how she embezzled the bingo money? Was she like just skimming off the top, or was she just blatantly just taking the money?
So I'll let Justin kind of fill you in on exactly how that happened, at least to some extent anyway. Justin.
Justin, why don't you come on in?
Yes, sir.
The mic there.
It was determined that with the financial secretary that the money from the deposits weren't actually going into the account. And so if there was a cash deposit, sometimes the money would make it to the financial secretary, other times it wouldn't. But if a check was received, then of course the check would get deposited because she couldn't check or cash the check.
And the proceeds from bingo, that was just taking some of the cash or something from whatever?
Yes, sir. It's all it was the profits from the bingo nights. They would typically replenish their operating costs of it, and whatever was left over from the profits was what was normally going missing.
Did somebody just like blow the whistle on this? Did somebody look and say, hey, something's not adding up here, and that's when you guys were called? Or?
Yes, sir. There's a new board that took over for the fire department. The president, Danny Atkins, he took over and contacted the sheriff's office once they started noticing some discrepancies with the financial secretary.
Do you think you have the only 2 players involved in this?
I do.
Did they offer to make restitution?
No, they were interviewed and they denied all allegations.
What are they facing as far as charges and jail time here?
I'm really not certain what the charges are. I know they're felony charges for theft scheme and conspiring for a theft scheme over $10,000.
Over $10,000, less than $100,000.
Is that a felony over $10,000?
It is a felony.
So is that like 25 years in prison? Or
Honestly,
15?
don't know the sentencing guidelines for it.
So it's never really good when someone's stealing from anybody, but does it seem worse when you're stealing from an organization like a fire company that's there to help the community? And can you talk about that aspect a little bit?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty devastating to the Joppa Magnolia Fire Department that they had a 30-year member who obviously they entrusted. They let that person handle the money, and to find out that that person that they entrusted was stealing money from them, because obviously they use that money to do different community events, also to supply themselves with fire equipment and all those type things, and this person was taking them, even being a member of the firehouse and using the equipment. She was a fireman as well. To take that money is definitely certainly devastating to the fire company itself.
And I can tell you that a lot of the people that I had interviewed during this, members of the fire department, they were definitely taken back and they were surprised. I mean, if you look at the photo of her, it's definitely someone that's a little bit older, someone that's unsuspecting. And the people involved with the fire department are like, hey, we're here to help people. We never expected somebody would actually take from us.